What does it mean to be reformed? Or more specifically, what is reformed theology and practice? Well, I could give a joke answer. Whatever RTS teaches, we are Reformed Theological Seminary, so whatever we teach, by definition, is reformed. Okay, that was the joke answer. A more serious answer is going to be, it's the theology and practice coming from the reformers, hence the word reformed, in the Reformation of the 1500s. Okay, that's a kind of historical answer. Now, before I give the answer I really want to give, let me give a little caveat. Sometimes when you say, what is X like? You can answer it, oh, X is different than Y, and you give the differences between X and Y. That's not totally saying what X is, it's saying how it's different than Y. And sometimes when you answer what is reformed, we emphasize how it's different than Roman Catholicism, different than Lutheranism in minor ways, and then different among the various Bible-believing Protestant groups. Another way to say what is Reformed theology, a little short answer is, it is the belief, a high view of the triune God, and He has created the world. He has redeemed sinners, and He has revealed Himself, especially in an infallible and inerrant way in the Bible. High view of God, high view of Bible, and let the Bible be the guide for all of life. High view of God, high view of Bible, Bible the guide for all of life. That's the short answer. Now let me give a much longer answer for purposes of this video. Take the confessions. Take one of the longer confessions and just read through it. That's what Reformed theology and practice is. And examples of this would be the Westminster Confession of Faith, Westminster Larger Catechism, Westminster Shorter Catechism, Canons of Dort, Belgic Confession, and the Heidelberg Catechism. You want to know what Reformed theology is? Read through one of those. And let me briefly say something about, for instance, the Westminster Confession of Faith, and then compare and contrast maybe with some other Christian groups. The confession starts off with Scripture. All Bible-believing Protestants are going to believe the Scripture section. It does not include the Apocrypha, so Roman Catholics may not like that. Then it goes to the Triune God, the second chapter, and that all historic Christians are going to believe in the Trinity. God is one substance, three persons. Then it goes into God's eternal decrees and predestination. Well, some of our Bible-believing friends aren't going to believe all of the predestination sections, but that's emphasizing the grace of God upon us. It's going to have a providence section, a creation section. It'll go to a covenants section, which is the relationship of how God's grace is both in the Old and New Testament. Some of our dispensational friends may disagree here and there. It's going to go to Christ, our mediator. He's truly God and truly man. All historic Christian groups are going to agree to that. Then it'll go to various angles about creation of humans and original sin. And in Reformed theology, we're going to have a very serious view of man's sin and then the great grace of God to change us. Other parts of the confession are going to include our justification, our adoption, our sanctification, our glorification. All of these are by grace, and with a detail or two, most of the other Protestant groups are going to agree to those sections. There's going to be a wonderful section on marriage. Most will agree to that. There'll be a section on the church. They won't agree to all angles of the church, but there's a nice, well-defined section on the church. There'll be a section on sacraments, baptism and the Lord's Supper. Some of our Bible-believing friends aren't going to agree with the infant baptism statement that's in there, but they'll agree to other parts. Then there's the Lord's Supper. Some details about what we would call the spiritual presence of Christ. They may not agree to all of those parts, but they'll agree to big sections of it. There's a discussions of church government. In the Reformed world, it's going to be what we would call Presbyterian. Okay, not everybody's going to agree to that. Then it's going to talk about what happens when you die. Soul goes to heaven, and then eventually the resurrection. Bible-believing Christians are going to agree to that. What is Reformed theology? The best summary of it, it's a high view of God, high view of the Bible, and that affects all of life. You want a good summary of it, get one of the confessions and read through it.